Basically, what's been going on these past few days, there's been an energy coming through me, and the energy is manifesting through me as imagery. Basically, imagery that I can use to form parables about lessons that I'm learning and what I'm being taught, because the imagery is based off my imagination, and my imagination is based off my conscious experience here in this dimension. So I'm using the imagery I'm getting to form lessons and ways to convey the message I'm getting in terms that people can understand in this dimension, thus the parable. And this goes back to the question I asked about being a child, having all these childish things you want to do as an adult that you don't even think of because you're too busy doing things as an adult that you couldn't even imagine as a child. So once we get to the higher realms, we have all these ideas about physical things we want to do in the spiritual realm, but once we get to that realm, there's so many things that we can't even imagine that these physical things won't even apply. And that parable was just the start, because the things that are coming through me now are so clear and so vivid and so perfectly aligned, and they make so much sense based off my conscious experience up to this point that I'm able to put it in terms that anybody can understand. And that's just the start, because what's coming through me is coming out in the form of like a novel or a TV script, movie script, or something like that. So basically, what I feel the creator is doing is giving me an avenue to create another way to convey the message in the world, but do it in a way that's entertaining and engaging. Because here in this dimension, there's a lot that can be explained in parables in terms of how a being's consciousness interprets the messages it's getting. And this feels like it's been years in the making, because when I think back to those videos I put together, that came from me always closing my eyes, going inward, and imagining the words I was being taught by AMUN or any of these great spiritual teachers. What I always do is close my eyes and imagine that I am seeing what they're saying. So that unlocked my consciousness in a way that allowed me to manifest those videos like Count the Knot .0 manifestation in an entertaining and engaging way. And then when I think about the website that I put together last year, it feels very similar to the energy that was coming through me while I was working on the website. I was just so compelled and consumed by putting together that website, because I knew that the ultimate purpose of it was for this mission. And I knew that that by working on this website and teaching myself to build the website, I was only helping to further my conscious development. I was so into it that I couldn't turn away. It's because I knew that, one, I was learning something new. I was teaching myself this, so that in itself was exciting. And knowing that what I'm doing is for the creator, that alone let me know that the energy that came through me at that time to produce that website the way that I did, after dealing with various so-called professionals, and nobody could get it looking the way we wanted it to look. I sat there and took my time to learn that program and build that website from scratch twice, basically from scratch. I'm not saying I did everything on the website. I'm not saying I did everything on the website. I'm not saying I did 100% of the website, but I am saying I did 99% of it. So this energy is just flowing through me, and I know that no matter what comes of these parables and these things that I'm writing, whether it becomes a novel or a TV show. If it's a novel, it could have volume after volume after volume. If it's a TV show, it could have spin-off after spin-off and a multitude of seasons. And if it's a movie, you'll have to have sequel after sequel after sequel, because there's no way to get all this information out in a way where somebody can just sit through it one time and be done with it. It's just too much, it's too deep, and there's a lot to share. It takes me back to when I was in college, probably 2009 or 10. I had a similar experience where I just woke up one day and I felt like I knew everything there was to know. And at that time, I wanted to write a book about everything that was implanted in me or awakened in me at that time, but I didn't know any teachers who could frame it for me and allow me to frame it for other people. I wanted to write a book from way back then. I had the idea, but I didn't have the compulsion at that time. And fast forward, I had an experience, somebody had an experience that featured me. And I don't think I ever told anybody about this because I wasn't sure about how I felt about it. And I wasn't sure how anybody else would feel about it. So I think I kept it to myself and risked forgetting about it until this most recent wave came about the past few days. The past few days I just felt myself trending towards a higher vibration. So I knew that there was some sort of vibratory maximum coming, and I decided to grab hold of it by immersing myself in the studies. So basically what happened in this experience that someone else had, this was in 2016. I was working on the cruise ship, and they hired this white girl with zero DJing experience and zero experience living on the cruise ship. So I literally had to train this girl up from nothing. The very bare basics of DJing I had to teach her, coupled with helping her along as she gets adjusted to life on board the cruise ship, which can be very interesting, very fun, very stressful, very angering, very joyful, very sad. It can be a lot of things for a lot of people. So as I'm training her on the job and advising her on how to live, one day she comes to me and says, I had a dream last night that we were in hell. Yes, this cruise ship was hell, and you were teaching me how to survive in hell. And when she said that, it made a lot of sense, but I just couldn't shake the thought that, if we were in hell, that means I was in hell, and I don't know what I would be doing there, other than teaching people like you how to survive it and get out of it. So I kind of put that out of my mind for a while, and it just sprang up when this newfound energy came in through me. So I just want to try to inspire the family the way that I've been inspired recently, because this energy it's very compelling, and it's very creative, and it will just flow. So if you've ever had a thought to do anything positive for the mission, then do it. Don't wait, just start doing it. For years, I sat and told myself, I need to make some short videos with some of the most powerful and informative 10-minute clips of Amun's classes. For years, I told myself that. And then when I finally did it, and Amun expressed his approval of it, it just made me want to keep doing it and do more. The same thing with the website. After they were playing games with us, they showed us what they did, talking about it was going to be ready in a week. And I'm thinking to myself, no, we cannot have this representing us. So I took it into my own hands and I built the website based on the vision that I got from Amun. It came right through me, just like this is coming through me now. And like I said, I don't know what the ultimate result of these things that I'm writing will be. I don't whether they become a movie or a book or a TV show or whatever it is. Now we have the capabilities to do it the way that I'm seeing it in my mind with special effects. I just keep getting visions of shows like Star Trek and movies like Interstellar, how I would want it to look on screen and how I would want it to read if it were a novel. Basically, I'm just telling stories about creation, and those stories are parables and lessons. It's all about lessons. But the entertaining aspect of it will come from these tales, the wars in space, and the stories like that of Talmud, and all of the stories in the Holy Tablets. All of these things can be used and expounded upon and added to the book or the movie. So I just want the family to know, if you ever feel compelled to do something for the mission, do it. Write it. Start that journal you've been thinking about. Put that pen and pad by your bedside. Just do that meditation you've been thinking about and procrastinating on. Just do it, and the energy will start to flow through you. You just have to maintain it. And the good thing about this energy is it's just so vast, the amount of information and the lessons there are to learn in what's coming through me, because it's all coming via what I've learned from the Messiah. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what's going on with me.